To the show, Andrea. Thank you so much. I know you've taken out time from your really busy schedule, and this is for a Watch and Learn series. So it means the world to me.
Thank you so much, Pamela, for having me here.
Andrea, just to give everyone a quick introduction about you. Well, you are an MBA holder, and you have this. I was going through your profile and I was like, oh wow, so many certifications on etiquettes. Please elaborate, please let us know, because I don't know whether I should be say that I'm a bit ignorant or what, but many of us didn't know that there are proper certifications on this.
Not at all, Pamela. And I think if you would have spoken to me 15, 20 years back, I had no clue either. So it's normal. I think whenever you get passionate about the subject, you learn so much more about it, and you realize that there is community and there are so many things to learn. The more you know what you don't know. So that's how it goes all the time.
Sorry.
So regarding the certifications, I've graduated my MBA from Lyon University in Switzerland, in Montreux, where I studied for 3 years international hospitality management. And that was probably the time when I fell in love with, and I got the idea of starting the School of Manners as it is today.
So what was that moment you felt that, okay, I need to literally turn this into School of Manners, and where people can really reach out to me and learn something?
Initially, actually, the School of Manners was called Her Manners, and I will tell you where that started from. On one of my trips to UK, I was entering a supermarket, and one young mother with her daughter, I held the door open for them, and she just walked past me. The young girl looked at me, but the mother didn't even acknowledge I was holding the door. She just walked past me. Now, I think the reason why it impacted me so much is because historically and neurologically, women, mothers, are the leaders in society, in how we're supposed to behave, and how emotionally, socially, even in a spiritual perspective. So if you speak to people that are psychologists or that are, people into spirituality, they will both agree on the fact that the relationship with your mother is the one that dictates all the relationships you will have in your life. Social etiquette-wise is exactly the same. So when I saw the mother not reacting to me and the daughter looking so confused, I realized how much the impact on the behavior of her mother would have on her and her social skills in all her life. And that is why initially the School of Manners was called Her Manners, not because it was manners only dedicated to women, but because the woman will remain at the base of what social skills will be in society. Probably 8 months into it, I changed the name to the School of Manners, simply because men were feeling left out, and they continue to feel like it's not for them as well.
I have one question for you, that is it too late for some people to rectify, or is it for kids? Is it too early for them? What kind of age groups are we talking about?
Definitely no age limit. Emily Post once said that only if you are a hermit living on top of the mountain is the moment when you'll stop needing etiquette. So, and that is the reality. And if another human being comes on top of the mountain while you're a hermit there, then you have a problem, because you might need etiquette just to relate well with the person in front of you. There is definitely no age limit. We need social skills, and we need etiquette, and we need good manners whenever we want to be authentic and we want to have a successful personal and professional life, while also being authentic while not offending anybody. Having that comfort and confidence that whenever you show up in a meeting, you will make that meeting successful. Whenever you go home and you spend quality time with your family, you will make that effective. And that is one thing that I want to mention. is that for so long there's been this pressure on people in business that they have to find work-life balance. I think we've heard work-life balance for so long that we're trying to imitate robots somehow, just to sort of calculate, from 8 to 9 I respond emails, then from 9 to 10 and that is almost impossible. Nobody functions like this. Now, going back to the age, when is the time it should start? As soon as the infant is even, you just hold him, you brought him home, that is the moment when you should start teaching manners. I'll tell you why we do not realize how much of a sponge the brain of an infant is. We are so fascinated with how fast our children learn to work with the computer, how fast a child exposed to 5 different languages learns all languages by the age of 5. Why do we overlook the fact that the same child is observing you, and if you don't greet people entering your house, he won't greet you when he's older?
I really would want to give an example of this when it comes to, like, I have seen many a times parents body shame people in front of the child, and the child grows up thinking this is normal, this is right. And that passes on when they go to school, when they go to college, when they go to work, when they find partners. So this doesn't stop because the parent didn't put a filter while talking or behaving in a certain manner in front of the child. So probably body shaming is just one of them, but there are a lot of other topics, like using a certain particular, like disrespecting the service industry people. These things just kids just absorb it. So like you said, I think you rightly said it, that there is no age, they have to start ASAP. And if even for adults, I guess it's never too late, and I'm very happy to hear that. Quickly, I know this topic is so vast, and probably we will have to do a full day seminar that will also be less, but three etiquettes that men and 3 etiquettes that women should really follow.
First of all, just as a disclaimer, whenever I say rules of chivalry applies to ladies as well. So yes, etiquette has evolved with us. So for those of you that have followed my page, I've done 21 days of chivalry for men and 21 days of chivalry for women, and a lot of the followers saw and they say, oh, but this applies to men and this applies to women as well, and I fully agree. Yes, these things apply to both genders. Now, if I have to give just an advice to the gentlemen out there, is to always be mindful of other people's times. So whenever you invite someone somewhere, make sure of 3 things. First, that the person has with what to arrive to your destination. Do not just invite somebody in the middle of nowhere, being a client or a date or a spouse or a friend. Be mindful. You cannot ask someone to come to Abu Dhabi when that day they're in Ras Al Khaimah and just good luck on finding a trip because you wanted to test a restaurant. You have to be considerate. So that is the reason why usually when women go on dates, if you're the one invited, then yes, the gentleman should at least ask, would you like me to send you an Uber or should I come pick you up? That shows protectiveness and attentiveness, and it reflects a lot on who you are and the respect that you have for the decisions that you have. You live life with a purpose. Second thing, if you invite someone somewhere, invite them in time, not 3 hours before the event happens, and reconfirm the event on the morning of the event. So again, being a business lunch or a date with someone you already know or with a friend, make sure you reconfirm on the morning of the event, before 12 o'clock if the event happens in the afternoon, the night before if it's a morning meeting. Always reconfirm with people. Do not let them just guess that maybe it will happen, maybe not, and let people just leave on the edge. Third thing, which is the one that probably very few people like to do, but it's one that most men actually sent me back thank you for. If you're the one that invites, you're the one that pays. I'll explain to you why. If I really want and I've selected a very fancy restaurant, I cannot impose on you to afford to join me at this restaurant and pay because I wanted to see you. it shows a lack of responsibility for my own decisions in life. If I've decided to invite you, and it goes the opposite way as well, if I am a woman in business and I want to invite a client that I want to impress, I want to make business with, organizations have done this all the time in sales. If I'm the one that invites, I'm going to be the one that takes care of my client. So this has to translate in your personal life as well. If you respect the person, you've invited them, then you are the one that covers the bill. One small tip here that is gonna make a lot of people seem very classy is the fact that you should not even let the bill arrive to the table. Being a gentleman that is meeting you for a business lunch or a lady doesn't matter. The reality is that as soon as the bill arrives to the table, there is a moment of awkwardness. So it's always a nice way to end the entire lunch meeting. And that is the one thing for the gentleman with the three things on around the meeting and everything. Now for the ladies. Ladies should always show a level of consideration for other people. So if you are invited somewhere to a date, or if you're the guest, then do not take advantage, do not feel entitled. And that is, I think, I'm putting this first because I've seen a lot of ladies go into entitlement mode and say, I'm a lady, this is not how you should behave. Well, you're not there to teach. The sense of entitlement, you feel it straight away, and that is in the fact that, okay, even if I've told you that manners wise, yes, a gentleman would invite you somewhere according to his budget and cover for the bill. Ultimately, you are there to also meet this person. So the company is always the priority over the food that you're having. So do not sit there, open the menu and order the most expensive items on the menu because you know he's gonna pay. That is very rude. Another thing for the ladies. Now, I want to be very clear on this, ladies. Chivalry applies to you too. So if you see someone that struggles, even if he's a man with a lot of luggage, then hold the door for them. It's not like your hands are gonna fall off. And if you are the one that has a gentleman holding the door for you, do not just walk past. And this is the reason why I started the School of Manners in the first place, like I mentioned. Do not say thank you. So be grateful for every gesture. Just because they're good manners doesn't mean we should take them for granted, and yes, people should just behave this way and we have no reason to thank them for. No, that is not correct. You should look at someone and say thank you. So whenever you pass and somebody's holding the door, lift your eyes from the phone for a second, look at the person in the eye, smile and say thank you. They're not gonna run after you in the supermarket. So just be kind. The third, this hasn't been the fast list that you asked for Pameline, but yes. So the third thing for the ladies is that, and this is one that really deeply hurts, but I will pick it for the top three. Please stop gossiping. Sadly, women are the ones that are putting other women down a lot of the times, and this is because we believe that through gossip, we connect better with our girlfriends, or we just, we think that maybe once we're at work, we can make our own little church and we gossip about the others and everything. And I'll add you a 3.5 for ladies, because this is another one that I wanted to mention for in case people think the gossip is maybe, not the proper manner. Is the fact that, ladies, the etiquette, the gender in the etiquette, in modern etiquette, has closed. Congratulations for all the feminist fighters out there. Ladies, please stand up whenever you're greeting anybody. Think how you would feel if you enter the office of your new boss, who's much older than you, and he actually stands up to greet you. How do you feel? not about yourself only, but what is your opinion about the person in front of you. And that is why I emphasize this. Etiquette starts with you, with who you are, with how much respect you show to your own reputation, to whoever you want to be. So when you wake up this morning, think, who do I want to be today? Do I want to be this person that people, is rude, is inconsiderate to everyone else, or do I want to build genuine relationships and I want to make sure that my life is also easy? So in a way, etiquette is like a GPS for life.
Andrea, just one more thing before I let you go. This is how we react, right? If how we are supposed to behave. But there are situations where we come across somebody extremely rude, or somebody who is who's the reason to even ruin our mood for the day. How do we handle such people?
Yes, Pamela, that is a very good question. So actually, rudeness is proven that it cancels 50% of our efficiency in doing our job. So rudeness at work actually costs companies thousands of US dollars per day, because people, whenever they're living in a very rude environment, they're not capable to focus 100% on their work. Even those that think, oh, I don't take anything personally. Well, it's not the way our mind works. Of course we do, even if it is for a moment and we think, oh, why did she do that? Or you're just miserable. There are so many toxic environments. And sadly, we see more and more of that. Also, clients coming into a company and witnessing a moment of rudeness between your employees, that also costs a lot, because people don't want to feel that energy, so they will just leave. And a lot of clients are lost because of this. So now, how do we react to it? My best advice is to understand where rudeness comes from. So rudeness comes from a place of insecurity. It has nothing to do with you. Whenever somebody is rude, I actually look at them and I really wonder what hurt them so much to feel the need to act this way. And I revert back to a feeling of pity, almost, of how much pain and insecurity this person must have to act this way. So whenever is a moment of rudeness, think that way. And sometimes, Pamela, not everything needs a reaction. We also need to understand this, that a lot of the times we try to react to everything that is happening around us. Just respond to whatever people say. Sometimes there is just literally no need to react to it.
Because I want people to head to your page and see the amount of information that you share. And there is so much out there. Can you please give us a quick roundup on all these social media handles that you have and which pages you are there?
The best page they can follow is on Instagram, The School of Manners. So don't miss the, because some people miss the School of Manners. I'm also on Facebook, on YouTube under the same name, and on my website www.theschoolofmanners.com.
Thank you so much for your time. I know you're very busy, but thank you so much for this time. This was my main aim of this particular series that I'm doing, is that every time somebody watches this video, they get to learn something, and I can surely tell that people have learned a lot today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pamela. It's been an honor.